Hey guys, Nuan here with Movie Snigger Reviews. Today we're gonna talk about Godzilla King of the Monsters, directed by Michael Dougherty. The story takes place a few years after the incident in San Francisco. The world knows the truth now. Monsters do exist. The pressure is on Monarch, the secret organization that has been studying these monsters, to find a solution. We see a Senate committee questioning Dr. Serizawa. He believes that humans and the Titans can coexist, that some Titans like Godzilla are benevolent, and as long as we stay out of their way, everything will be fine. The government believes a military solution might be a better option. There's also people who believe that humans have destroyed and polluted the earth, and they want to awaken all the sleeping Titans hidden around the world to bring the apocalypse. So obviously those are the bad guys. Now, this story ain't gonna win Best Screenplay at the Oscars, but it's not really trying to. I do like the opposing viewpoints that characters have on what to do with the Titans, because ultimately that's what leads to conflict and drama between the characters. It's a simple story with a simple MacGuffin. There's a device that has something to do with the bioacoustic signals that the Titans use to communicate. So basically, everyone in this movie wants this device. It's a very good excuse to send the characters on a globe-trotting adventure and have epic encounters with these giant monsters. Kyle Chandler plays Dr. Mark Russell. He's an expert on animal behavior and communication. Mark, along with his wife Emma, used to work for Monarch, but the two went their separate ways. Mark believes that we should kill all the Titans, but Emma doesn't agree. This creates some good family drama. Kyle Chandler gave a good performance. He is usually the overprotective father, and he's doing the same thing here, but he is good at it. I also like how Mark goes from wanting the Titans to die to almost begrudgingly realizing they might have to help Godzilla. That's pretty much all the character development you're gonna get with this movie. There's not a lot. Millie Bobby Brown plays Madison, the teenage daughter of Mark and Emma. She's right in the middle of all this drama between her parents and the bigger conflict with the Titans. And although there's really not much to her character, she gave a really good performance. She's not a useless child actor either. She takes things into her own hands and helps out. She even flips off Tywin Lannister, which was a really funny moment. It showed some personality, and Millie is definitely capable of being charismatic. And charisma and humor is something this movie is lacking a bit. Occasionally, Ice Cube Jr. or the tech guy or this other scientist guy will crack a joke to lighten the mood. These were funny, but I wish the movie had more of these moments, but the serious tone was holding it back. Vera Farmiga plays Emma. Her performance is fine, but I feel like there's a part of her backstory that's missing. So it's a little difficult to understand what's driving her at times. Ken Watanabe and Sally Hawkins are there, Charles Dance is there. These are all great actors, but the filmmakers don't really know what to do with them. Now I get it, this is a movie about giant monsters, who cares about the human characters, right? Well, obviously the filmmakers did. They took the trouble to introduce all these people. Some of them die. 2 of those deaths are sacrifices. But because we don't care about any of these characters, these moments, which are meant to be heartbreaking acts of heroism, fall flat because there's no emotional weight supporting them. It's like the scene from Armageddon. A character has to go into a hazardous area to push a button, but you can't do it remotely. Now, I cry like a little girl every time I watch Bruce Willis go out to blow up the asteroid. In Godzilla, I'm just like, whatever. But what about the giant monsters? That's why we bought the tickets, right? Thankfully, the movie fucking delivers. You can tell how much love the director and his team has for these giant monsters. There's a sense of anticipation that always builds up before a monster is revealed. The King Ghidorah section was a really cool example. The first appearance of Godzilla is another one. All the sensors go off, the radar starts giving off proximity alarms, and everyone is panicking, and then Mark uses his knowledge on animal behavior to defuse the tense situation. That was a really cool scene. You hear little bits of information through dialogue, you hear ancient stories and legends about the creatures that have passed down the generations from our ancestors. There's a sense of reverence and fear when characters talk about the Titans. So overall, the filmmakers have done a great job to get the audience excited to see the Titans. Every encounter with these creatures feels epic. Rodan flapping its wings creates a hurricane. How insanely fucking cool is that? Ghidorah and Godzilla are gigantic, and one thing I like is that because there are human characters running around, you can get a good sense of the immense scale of these titans. And the other thing I like is how the director remembered to capture the reactions of the humans. There's plenty of shots of awestruck looks on people. Steven Spielberg knew that too. It's not enough to show the cool monster, you need the reaction shot to really sell the moment. The creature designs are really cool. Mothra in particular looked very cute. Oh, you're gonna fall in love with Mothra by the end of the movie. The CGI was good for the most part, but I did notice Ghidorah looked a little unfinished in some scenes. The monster fight scenes are everything you ever wanted it to be and more. The scene where Rodan is chasing the Monarch team and taking out the fighter jets one by one was amazing. There were more fights between monsters than I expected, and that was a nice surprise. The final battle between Godzilla and Ghidorah is a big epic spectacle with lots of crumbling buildings and lots of destruction. There's going to be a lot of paperwork. Conclusion. Kyle Chandler and Millie Bobby Brown gave good performances. The supporting cast was alright, but I do feel like they could have injected some more humor like the cast of Skull Island. Not that those characters were well developed, but at least they were fun to hang around with. But thankfully, none of the characters in this movie are as dull as the ones from Godzilla 2014. The cinematography looks great, and if you watch this in a movie theater with a good sound system, every monster roar, every screech is gonna feel like it's gonna knock the wind out of you. Godzilla King of the Monsters is a good movie, but it could have been great if the filmmakers had been able to make us care more about the characters and lightened up the tone a bit. So I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. However, these problems do not in any way reduce the entertainment value of this movie. They did not take anything away from the moments of absolute fucking joy I experienced during the giant monster battles. Because when the action starts, your eyes will be glued to the screen with your mouth hanging open and your brain will begin to melt while trying to process all the cool shit that's going down. So I can easily recommend you to watch this in a movie theater. I had so much fun and I'm definitely gonna watch this again. Also, remember to wait for the post-credit scene. The entire audience walked off, and so it was just me sitting awkwardly in an empty theater while the cleaning staff were getting impatient for me to leave. There's a lot of cool potential for the future with this franchise, and I can't wait for the next movie. So there you go. Have you watched Godzilla King of the Monsters, and what did you think about it? Please leave your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Movie Slinger out.